Okay, nice stay at what's her name's guest house here. Beautiful view from the porch. There's a nice tree though. New construction. Been going on for 10 years. Department store. Look, you do have a lot of stuff that you might need.
I know. Come on, man.
You're tearing the place out.
Come on, let's go. It's right here. Let's just buy this. Go up and get that. I'm gonna take care of it.
See, that's what the trash cans are for. You just don't throw trash, even though it looks like it's a little trashed up here, but they don't want you throwing your can just in the side of the road. I mean, some people do. But just carry it to the trash can. There's no littering. In fact, I saw there was a no littering sign and it was a $100,000 fine or something like that. In case you're wondering. Look, that's probably your beer can from last night. That's $200,000. Boarded up. So they went off. And the hurricane got that one back there. No, well, it's out of water. If she came up out of the water, then she'll be stinking. There's an industrious thing going on there. What's that? Here's when the hurricane got. So you can tell because it came blew the tree over into the house. And they had them, can't do anything with that. Here we go. Here's the delicacies you can see right over here. It looks bad. It's up on land. I think this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good here. At least it's still here. There's a good island to go to. It's a blue hole. Or the junk island. No, that's drug trade island. Here's something. You've been here 20 years and you haven't noticed that? And you haven't noticed that island out there? Right out there. Like that just came in here 10 years ago. See it? Alright. Get it in the water. She wants some water.
I'm gonna give this some water.
Give it all some water. That starfish needs it really bad. The starfish is drying out.
The starfish is almost enough.
It's curling up on its ends. That's about it.
This is the best we can do for days.
That's way good. Look at that. She'll hold up until we get her in the Clorox later on.
She's leaking.
Yeah, we knew that. But that's a surprise.
Well, here, why don't we do this?
That'll just leak over. We don't have to worry about it. The owner can clean up the plane.
Here, why don't we do this? We'll... Here, look at this. There you go. Okay, now get whatever else you want. I don't really need anything else. Come on, let's go.
Okay, here we are. Let's go. Let's stay here tonight.
Oh, look, it's a little busy.
This is what you call stepping down. This is like the place we stay in Haiti, though. You know what?
Yeah.
And the rat caught there. But it's pretty nice here along the beach. No.
Well, get in here.
All right.
Hey, there about mine. 09. Here.
Oh, they're taking off an Andros.
Yeah, so. That stage is over. After the FDA gets thoroughly investigated, it's in the body.
Clinic Pet 191 is turning left off the runway 9 departure end, and we're clear to the airport.
I think we've been good. Okay, good. Get in there. Now you take over. Put those cameras down and start following. It looks like there's a man. Why don't you come in here? Let's try what they want. Well, that's probably where everyone else does do.
Central Andros International.
Whatever. Just wildfire. Okay, that's it. Turn those things off. Oh.
We're at the approach end of runway 90 left at Palm Beach International. 428 Echo Romeo, make the transition over 90 left for Palm Beach International. Thank you, sir. Traffic on the parallel final, looking here 1900 on a 2 mile final for 9 left, contact tower now 19 and 1. Feedback is correct.
Very good.
089, where you parked? 089, taxi customs, my frequency. Sure can. Don't fly 9164 taxi, we're at my frequency. Go ahead, 64. Turkey 089, turn right at the end there, and taxi eastbound. Just on the other side of the 727, turn right, and customs will be the last building on the right. Delta 2038 taxi hotel. Who's ready to taxi? Delta 2038 with hotel. I'm sorry, you're blocked. Somebody called for taxi. Who is it? Delta 2038 with hotel. Delta 2038, runway 9 left. Taxi be at Charlie. It'll be shorter runway 13. That might be at Charlie. It'll be shorter runway 13. 2038. Who else is called from Charlie?
Is this illegal to video that?
That was 348. Your dispatch advisor ready to taxi. Promise, couldn't come out of the 57 Echo Bravo, taxi Galaxy West Blues Hotel. 57 Echo Bravo, taxi runway 9 right. Hotel. Hey, I had 2 aircraft calling, Navajo 30 Bravo, turn left, taxi 030 runway 9 right. Take
Swing around that.
Left 030 Bravo.
Back on the Signature Aviation jetties, whatever. and got through customs okay, and we're gonna go over here. Jimmy went getting confused. I know where he's going. Hey, you're going the wrong way! Anyway, so here, we'll go. Jimmy's down here with glasses, so he can't see anything.
3 taxi to 914 about this there. Reply now. It appears to be on the normal code. You can squawk to 155. I'm showing you at 12000. Number Sterling, please 12,000 for 14,000. 37 Delta Charlie, Roger, climb and maintain 14,000. 37 Delta Sterling out of 12 for 14. Number 27 AAA, deviation is of course approved, and when you're able, proceed direct to the Gilby intersection, and then direct for Lauderdale executive. Circle Wilco. 19362, contact Tampa Approach. 10 aircraft, convective Sigma 35, echo is current for South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, and the coastal waters. Convective Sigma 36, echo is current for Florida and the coastal waters. Information. Present heading there. They do show a small opening in the cells at 2 o'clock and 15 miles. If you want to try to pick your way to that, you're more than welcome to do so. Say again for 137 Delta Charlie, please. From 137 Delta Charlie. There looks like there may be a small hole about 2 o'clock. Cross bones that maintain 6,000. Cross bones that maintain. Miami Center, no point 40. CSA takes on all 46. Left 089, say altitude. Left 089, say altitude, please. Okay, thanks. That just showed. Fox, Tampa, altimeter 3006. Proceed direct if you like. It's be about 10 degrees to your right. Descend your discretion, maintain 3000. 3000, I'm direct to Winter Haven, 9 Alpha. Clear direct Tallahassee, cross 40 miles north of Tallahassee at maintain 1.5. Roger. Still no luck on the transponder. Can you give me your position from Pecan?
I got one that to get a good look.
Is this going to the category of any land you can walk away from? Is a good land?
I don't think so.
But this is the end of the run now, must be.
I know, it's time.
Everything's getting shut down, right?
Yep.
See, the other thing is it's too short. You know what?
It was long. It was sad, but I mean, it was long enough. I mean, what I meant to say is it shows we can do it. Okay, it shows if you really want to do it, and actually we did do something. You can do it in 3 days, but I think we need 4 days. Well, I mean, okay, if you stay in one spot, you can do it in 3 days. But 3 days in 2 places, that might be. Besides, we didn't have 3 days. Oh yeah, we did. But we didn't.
No, Thursday. This is not.
Basically, we left.
No, we left at 5 a.m. Friday morning. Yeah.
Were you taking a picture of it? Were you taking a picture?
Yeah, I got the night shot on.
Oh.
But it didn't look good. I don't think, because, you know,
No, it's ghoulish.
actually, it's super night shot. I wonder what this does. Because it makes everything unfuzzy. But it's kind of quick, but actually it integrates light over time, so everything moves in a jiggly pattern.
Here 60 hours ago.
Yeah.
To the Bahamas and back.
We got to back up.
See, look, they already got the sewer pipes in, and careful, you're not on the road, you're kind of in a big pile of dirt.
Yeah, you're in the rocks.
I'll tell you what, I'll shoot out this, shoot out the front to the window.
Yeah, the window's got windshield wipers. We've got some pictures of it already.
Yeah.
You get some moving pictures with the
Although we
rainfall.
don't.
It's a moving picture of the dirt. Can I drive up there?
No.
You get your cars
For somebody?
windows for starters, in the long, narrow thing, it reminds me
Of the apartment.
But this is the size of the rooms, right?
this one doesn't have a
Sort
garage.
of. Yeah. It's about the right
I
size.
guess it's the same.
Well, it's got, I guess it's got the bulkhead.
Yeah.
We got one of those. We got, I mean, you can have one if you want. Oh, even one of those houses? The big one?
I like the kitchen.
This is, here, let me check. Hopefully the carpet out.
And then we got our fireplace and our door. And then the master.
And see, it's got a, and I'll show you what we're planning to do from lot. This is the master bedroom. It's much bigger than that other master bedroom, I think.
And this is the master bath. With a double sink.
See, you've got, and then you've got the door, the back door. Of course, we've got a bigger lawn than this. So.
Here to here.
There, and, you know, you know, up the road.
So you can see that something of wearing has happened in some of it. Now, I'm really honored to be selected for this Heeflijk lecture. And when I was a student in the Netherlands, basically undergraduate student, and I really read a paper of him, which was then, of course, relatively new about replicative senescence, and I was very, very impressed by that. And that was basically the starting point that I decided that was a subject I was interested in, and I wanted to know more about it. So you can say that Heeflijk was really the one who brought me to start working in the field of, in the science of aging myself. And of course, as it all started, it does work. as it all started here, is that Haeffer's argument obviously was that we age because our cells age, and to me that made an awful lot of sense, and I think probably most of us do, although we should never forget that there are other aspects also. And when you look at this picture, you would of course, what you see is the shock basically, that when you are still young and you would be able to see yourself like that, then you would say this is a tremendous difference. And I think the only one who ever saw himself like that was Oscar Wilde's famous Dorian Gray, when he saw his portrait, and he stayed young himself, and then he saw his portrait and he was very old and ugly, so he was very, very, I mean, he was killed by that, basically. So, but in reality, of course, when you really think about this for a while, you'll never see yourself like that, and in actual fact, the difference between a young and an old individual is really not that big, if you really think about it. I mean, aging is not a very dramatic process associated with major changes. It's really all very subtle and gradual. So that's basically the problem that we have with it. It's very difficult to solve a problem like that. Much more difficult than when you look for a tumor versus a normal tissue, which is really a major difference. And in the we already know that to find out what that's based on is already very, very complicated. So aging, I think, is the most complicated biological problem there is. And it is a biological problem, as hopefully by now it's getting more and more clear. Now, what our interest was, and John already indicated that, is the possibility that aging, or at least many aspects, or some aspects of it, are caused by the accumulation of DNA mutations. And very, very briefly, what we consider DNA mutations are really, I think I made a mistake now. I pressed the wrong button. But it's still on the screen. I probably only... what did I... Oh. No, I just pressed the... I pressed the green one, so it's the screen that I killed. Yeah, I always, you see, we have a system like that, and I always tell everybody that I never make this mistake. And I actually never did in our own system, but now here, the first time I touched it, I just apparently done the wrong thing. And since you know everything about this kind of computer presentations, you know that this is going to take a while. This is really a problem. But what I just wanted to say, and you will sort of remember the slide a little bit, is basically that when I say DNA mutations, we should not confuse them with other changes in DNA, like DNA damage, for example, which is really chemical alterations of the DNA molecule. I'm really talking about changes in DNA sequences, so point mutations or deletions or inversions, this kind of things. So also not epigenetic changes, like changes in methylation pattern, which are obviously could be very important in aging. We are really talking about this kind of events. And now I'm staying away from green. So again, point mutations, which are very small changes in DNA sequences, but can have a major effect, obviously. And here, transposition, so you have a small sequence which is transposed to another area. It can be on the same chromosome or at other places. And you can also, of course, see this in a more general sense as a translocation, so a large chunk of a chromosome that moves to another place. And again, you can have deletions or insertions, and you can have inversions. And again, the size of this area can vary a lot. So this is just to clarify things. If anything is unclear, by the way, just ask me immediately. Now, what I always tend to think about when I think about to find arguments why changes in DNA sequence information, so mutations could be a major cause of aging, primary cause of aging, is basically the logic behind it. And again, we all know that although mutations are bad for you in your somatic cells, in actual fact you need mutations. Mutations are, of course, the spice of life, as somebody said, I can't remember what that was, but they are actually the basis of life. As you can see here on this painting by Malevi, it's actually, we are different because we differ in our primary sequence. And that's good because that means that when you start life and you have this kind of variations, evolution can use that as its substrate to create different types of individuals, and you can go on with that, and that's how evolution proceeds. Of course, you've got selection that's going to have to do with it, and you get really starting to get different species, and eventually, of course, you will not even be able to see any commonality between different structures. This painting is by Kandinsky. It's called 10. Now, clearly, evolution needs this kind of DNA sequence variation, and they're not there when you have a genome that's perfect, that will never change, then eventually you get extinction because the environment is changing, and then that species will die, and there are no variants that can take over the population and create other species. That's obvious. So therefore, we need mutations. So it can never be that your genome maintenance systems are 100% accurate. Very, very unlikely. If it happens, you will die out. So there is this evolutionary logic of mutations as a basic process that continuously make our genome change. But then the question can come, of course, when we move from unicellular to multicellular organisms. Why then? Do we still need mutations in the somatic genome, apart from immunoglobulin genes that we all know about? But is it still logical then to have a certain mutation rate that changes your somatic cells? Well, actually there is, because some of you may know the evolutionary, what we now believe is the evolutionary basis of aging, and that basically is that anything that happens after you've reached reproductive age and create offspring, everything that happens after that, there's not a very high selection pressure on it. It basically means that whenever there's a, say, coincidental gene mutation that arises, that has a late effect, evolution is going to ignore it for obvious reasons, because in nature, as most of you know, animals have almost never the chance to get old. So you always have young individuals there that reach reproductive age, and that's more or less it. So there are always a very small group of individuals present that can benefit from a particular trait that will emerge and that has a late effect. And because that benefit is not there, those old individuals are not there because they die from predation or some accident very, very early. Evolution is going to ignore it. So there's really no selective pressure to create something good for you that takes place only late. It's very any other way around, obviously. So whenever there is, by accident, some mutation that creates a trait that only expresses itself negatively very late in life, like giving you Alzheimer's disease, for example, then there's no attempt by evolution to take that negative trait away by selecting it away, because it will never see it, because those individuals normally will never be there. Only now, of course, when they are protected, they're going to be there. But it also means that when mutations accumulate in your somatic cells, having a negative effect late, it will also be ignored. So there will not be a selective pressure to create genome maintenance systems to preserve your genome indefinitely. It will not happen. So it's very logical then to, by going from the germline to somatic cells, to assume, yes, there is genomic instability. There's simply no selection to take it out. So it will be there. And again, you can even go further. You can say, probably our genome maintenance systems are only good enough to make sure that our genome is perfectly intact to reach reproductive age. After that, you would expect it would really deteriorate pretty quickly, because again, there's no way that that evolution took care of going through pains in creating systems that would help us until we are very old. It simply doesn't happen. So even small changes in genome instability will probably already have adverse effects very quickly. So that's the evolutionary logic behind it. Now, second, there's of course evidence that mutations accumulate during aging. And when you, for example, look at karyotyping and take, say, blood cells from a healthy young individual, you will probably see that between 1 and 5% of the cells have a chromosomal aberration. When you take that same blood sample from an old individual, you'll see that probably up to 10% of the cells have chromosomal aberration. That's known for quite a while already. So we have that evidence that actually there is an accumulation of mutation. And we also have the interesting evidence, and Ken Fukushi knows everything about that in Werner syndrome, a syndrome of accelerated aging, you actually do see in those blood cells of those people a very high level of somatic mutations, chromosomal aberration. So that's really evidence, and that brings us to the third point. There are diseases, we call them progeroid syndromes, they really seem to mimic aging. It's like parts of the aging process are occurring in an accelerated manner in these people. And now we know that many of those, most of them, are actually based on a heritable defect in a DNA repair system. It's very unlikely in my mind that is just a coincidence. So it seems there's a lot of evidence actually, albeit indirect evidence, that aging, yes, could be based on the accumulation of mutations. But of course we don't know really. There's no direct evidence. But now we go to a very simple experiment that was published in Nature a couple of years ago by Elena and Lensky. Because I thought it was very elegant and in my mind conclusively demonstrated that mutations, random mutations, can actually affect fitness. And if they can affect fitness in E. coli, in a population of E. coli cells, they certainly can affect fitness in mammalian cells, and of course we don't know how. In this experiment, they basically introduced mutations by transposition in the genome of E. coli, and they created 75 different E. coli lines. Each of them had a different random mutation, but only one mutation per genome. These were of course selected. There was a selective marker in there, so that particular mutation stayed in. And there was also 75 different lines of E. coli with 2 mutations, 2 of these transposition mutations per genome, and 3 mutations per genome. And of course, there were 75 lines, and each of these lines had these mutations at different sizes, completely random. And this is a measure of the fitness, simply the growth rate. And clearly you see that the number of randomly induced mutations per genome affects the fitness. And they probably should do the same with mammals. The difference is, of course, E. coli is a very simple organism, a small genome, highly gene dense. So it may be totally different to do the same thing in human cells or animal cells. And as far as I know, it hasn't been done. This direct evidence is simply lacking. Now, in fact, people started to really seriously consider the possibility that the accumulation of mutations in somatic cells was the cause of aging after the Manhattan Project, when they discovered that radioactivity is bad for you. And so immediately after the Second World War, very large experiments with mice and rats took place where they exposed these animals to radiation, different types of radiation, and they started to look what kind of diseases appeared. And something that now almost all radiobiologists who do pathology on animals that have been irradiated know, of course, what you in fact see when you give relatively low doses of radiation is that it looks like the aging process is accelerated. All the normal pathology that you would see during normal aging is sort of pushed forward. You see it happening earlier. That was demonstrated, and it gave rise to several somatic mutation hypotheses of aging. And it's not a coincidence, therefore, that those people were all physicists. Leo Szilard, Faya, they were all physicists. And they were physicists because they were primarily